Welcome to What Is That Celebrity Doing Now? This is a show where we check up on celebrities that people once knew but haven't thought about in a decade because they have fallen into obscurity.
First off, we have Tom Green. For those of you who forgot, Wikipedia says Michael Thomas Green is a Canadian-American comedian, actor, filmmaker, rapper, talk show host, and podcaster, known for his own unique brand of shock comedy. He found mainstream prominence via his MTV show, The Tom Green Show, Green. Green is also known for his roles in the Hollywood films Road Trip, Charlie's Angels, Freddie Got Fingered, which was directed by himself, Stealing Harvard, and Shred. He was briefly married to actress Drew Barrymore from 2001 to 2002, who co-starred with him in Charlie's Angels and Freddie Got Fingered. He is now focusing more on his podcast, which creatively is called the Tom Green Podcast, and is doing mostly voice work and small roles such as playing himself on Celebrity Big Brother.
Up next is Macaulay Culkin. Most known for his lead roles in Home Alone 1 and 2, Richie Rich, and My Girl. After his break from acting in 1994 because he, quote, he wanted a normal life, he did very likely little acting work. He made one-off guest appearances on Will and Grace in 2003 and small roles in low-budget movies, along with some voice work for Robot Chicken. He also had a long history with drug and alcohol abuse, but has now overcome his addictions. He briefly dabbled in music career in the early 2010s, but has not followed through with these projects. Since 2018, he has started a podcast called Bunny Ears and has been a frequent guest on the popular YouTube channel Red Letter Media, an angry video game nerd, also known as Cinemassacre. He has made his way back into mainstreaming culture with his advance in 2018 Google Assistant Home Alone parody ad and his role in the 10th season of American Horror Stories.
Next, we have Brendan Fraser, an actor famously known for playing the lead role in the 1999 film The Mummy. Fraser had started off his career making big movies and achieving multiple box office hits during the 1990s. He starred in popular films such as Encino Man, School Ties with Matt Damon, Airheads, and earned his second box office hit in the 1997 film George of the Jungle. 2 years later, he earned his notoriety in Hollywood, starring in the very famous film The Mummy. Afterwards, Fraser following films did not reach the same success. These are a few out of many which are Blast from the Past, Bedazzled, and Mucky Bone. In between filming these roles, he also guest starred on popular television shows and a new talk shows. Despite the slight lack of successful films he played in, Fraser's overall career as an actor was successful. Fraser's personal life and where themes started to conflict and reflect on his career. He had gone through a very stressful divorce, which also included paying a massive annual child support of $900,000. He petitioned to get the child support lowered. Fraser found himself budgeting financial funds during this time. He was also not filming very much either, which led him to start performing stunts like later on. Fraser's changing demeanor became noticeable during an interview with Bild as the interviewer discusses his personal life. He asks about his life after his divorce and his new focus in life now, which is noticeably discomforting to Fraser. The same interview was brought up later on in an interview with AOL. Fraser discusses that interview, saying his mother passed away 2 days before the interview, which understandably threw him off. Fans wondered what troubled Fraser even after its explanation, and assumed his career was also falling apart in the mist. In the year 2014, Fraser wrote a memoir titled With Signs and Wonders. He discusses his very sensitive topic of assault that he had been through in 2003, which completely riddled him of his drive to continue his career in filming and performing. He claims Philip Burke, a former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, is to blame for his trauma and allowed it to go unjustified in court. The result of these allegations led Fraser's career to plummet and was rarely invited back to the Golden Globes, which the HFPA runs after 2003. Fraser now lives in a life outside of Hollywood studios and wonders why the phones no longer ring in his career. He stated that the main reason for his fall from grace in the movie industry was trying to report sexual misconduct in the Hollywood movie industry nearly 2 decades before the Me Too movement occurred, and was blacklisted from the industry.
Our next celebrity is Amanda Bynes, the former child entertainer from the early 2000s Nickelodeon era, and the lead of her own comedy TV show, The Amanda Show. Amanda Bynes was only 13 years old when she first hosted and performed sketches for this show. She racked up Kids' Choice Awards and starred in numerous comedy movies through the 2000s. Films such as Big Fat Liar to She the Man. Bynes opened herself up to multiple new opportunities as her show gained more fans over the years. Her show led many stars to their Hollywood careers due to their incredible performances on the show, such as well-known Drake Bell and Josh Peck. It would consist of numerous skits that involved comical characters played by Amanda Bynes. Her character would range from Courtney, who was a signature oversized set of, who wore a signature oversized set of teeth and quirky outfits, to Amber, a high schooler who led changes of her bathroom clique in a segment called The Girls' Room. In another, Amanda played Judge Trudy, who famously ended each courtroom scene with dancing lobsters. Her show skyrocketed and acquired a very steady paycheck through her youth. In her youth 2010, Amanda Bynes took to Twitter to announce she would be retiring from acting to focus on her own life. It is around this time, however, the famously known child actress life would take a downward spiral. Starring in 2012, Bynes made headlines for a series of arrests, including being arrested for driving under the influence and hit-and-run traffic offenses. That same year, she was arrested for driving with a suspended license after her driving privileges were revoked for following the hit-and-runs. In 2013, the child star ended up being arrested again for reckless endangerment and attempted tampering with evidence. The same year, the star was pictured wearing different colored wigs and talked to Twitter to post vulgar messages about other celebrities, including Rihanna and Drake, in since deleted tweets. Bynes' new lifestyle did not go unnoticed and was even interviewed by Paper Magazine in 2018. Bynes told editors Abby Schreiber that starting around the time she filmed Hairspray in 2007, she found an article about a woman who used Adderall to lose weight, and she eventually began to start taking the pill. She added the following her retirement in 2010, she began hanging out with the Cedar crowd. She admitted to being in a dark place at the time and suffered with substance abuse. She even concluded in this interview she has sober for 4 years. Bynes expressed that her days of experimenting are long over and she is proud to be the person she has become today compared to those back then. She added in the 2018 interview that she wanted to return to acting and design a clothing line. Bynes even posted on her social media her graduation from Fashion Institution of Design and Merchandise in 2019. She had yet to return to acting, with her last role being in Easy A in 2010. She used to document some of her life on social media. She recently announced that she got engaged, showing off her engagement ring on Instagram. Though it is unknown who her fiance is, she is living much brighter life and seems to have a whole future ahead of her.
That's all we have for you today on what is now That Celebrity Join Now.